G'day YouTube, Max right here, and we have a cracker video for you here. So this dump just gets better and better. I say this dump getting better and better because if you've been watching this, I am just waiting. I think the setup here is just absolutely beautiful for Bitcoin right now, and it's just getting better and better as this dump continues, and I cannot wait to put a huge bet on Bitcoin. But there is one very important factor that is holding me back from doing that right now. We're going to find out what that is right here in this video. Plus, I want to give you a heads up. I think one of the most important things to happen to the cryptocurrency space, I would say since 2009, since the invention of Bitcoin, the next most important thing is happening right now as we speak. I am reaching out as like a madman, trying to get some interviews with some really key people, and I can tell you almost nobody knows about this. It is so whatever you do, please subscribe to this channel. I hope to have those videos out in about a week with the interviews with the people who are involved, and it is the most important trend in Bitcoin, in cryptocurrency, and I think it could lead to the Bitcoin dominance getting back above 80%. 80%. This is transformational for the entire cryptocurrency space. So you're going to hear about it right here on this channel. So whatever you do, go ahead and subscribe, smash that like button, and let me know if you can't wait to find out what is happening, what I'm talking about, that I think is just going to make Bitcoin leave all the other altcoins for dust. So yeah, let's get into this now. Okay, but the question at hand is, should we be going crazy with Bitcoin right here, right now? And I tell you what, there's a lot of things pointing to the fact that we should. So if you, I think a few videos ago, you check it out. We talked about the perfect setup for Bitcoin, and we headed towards it. In fact, let's go back to this chart. So this is the same Bitcoin chart with a whole bunch of markings. Looks like it's all crazy. And I don't want to delete any of these lines. But this, to be honest, this chart is too busy to work with. But I do not want to delete all these lines because I suspect we're going to come down here and then Bitcoin is going to become rocketing up. And then we're going to start interacting with all of these lines again. Up here in the reds and the pinks. Okay, so I don't want to use this, but I'm going to keep this here, but it's too busy to work with, so I got myself a fresh Bitcoin chart. But I did want to point this out right here. Let's click it on order, and I apologize. I'm on vacation again, so I'm not in the studio. I don't even have a mouse. I just got my laptop, and I'm not as fluid on the keyboard here as I should be. So right here, I started this red line, and for those of you who are new to the channel, the leading indicator of what Bitcoin's going to do is the squiggly red lines I draw on this channel. I haven't drawn any for about 3 or 4 months, by the way. But towards the end of last year, I was drawing these squiggly lines, just like episode after episode, and it was just like incredibly prophetic. Well, for the first time in a long time, the squiggly red line, I drew it right here, and it looks like we started off in the right direction anyway. We're definitely heading down, and we're coming down to this area right here. So listen, I think, it went down a little bit faster than I thought. It went all the way down to 47 here, but I think it's definitely possible. We can go a little bit further here, and I'll get into that a little bit more. But more broadly speaking, we have done something significant. Here was the previous low, and we have surpassed that. We have created a lower low. Now this is an indication of a trend reversal, but it could be a fake out. We'll see what's happening. Look, in this, for those of you who have been following it in the last kind of 4 or 5 months, it has been, we've enjoyed incredible gains. But one of the biggest challenges for getting into positions here has been that we have been so far overextended above the 21-week moving average. Let me go ahead and get to the clean chart here. Let's go back to the clean chart. We're all nice and clean. I'm going to kick it down to the hourly because I've got the 3,528 hourly moving average here. Translation, the 21-week moving average. That is this orange line here. Okay? So actually, you know what? I think this isn't exactly the best kept secret in all of crypto, right? A lot of people know the 21-week moving average. I'm just going to kick back and just show the importance of the 21-week moving average. I haven't done that for probably a few weeks, but let me see. Let's turn this one off. Let's turn that one on. And we have this nice blue line here. This is the 21-week moving average. Let me click on order. And you can see during the 2017 bull run, you can see the best times to buy were when it came down and kissed this blue line, which is the 21-week moving average. kissed it. Straight after that, it goes up, and it usually goes up, about 150, 200% after it kisses that line. We had another one here, kissed the blue line. So the Bitcoin price really used it on several occasions. I think I'm up to 5 so far, 5 and 6. Here's where it kind of broke through in October of 2015. All right, and so for the next 2 years, it uses the 21-week moving average. When it broke through that 21-week moving average, that was the signal that the bull run was over. And for the next year and a half, it used the 21-week moving average as resistance, right? So the 21-week moving average is a big deal. Now, it's by far from the best kept secret in crypto. So a lot of people are talking about this, and we'll talk about the relevance of that soon. But throughout the last 4 months, there's obviously the price has been going up. It's been great, but has it been the conditions for a really crazy, powerful, put all your chips on the table, big, powerful bet? I would say no, because we were so far away from that 21-week moving average that it just didn't make sense. The last time it was on the 21-week moving average was way back here, 21st of September, Bitcoin at $9,000. And if you got in there, you absolutely laughed all the way to the bank, as obviously it went up this epic run, like a 6x effectively from 10,000 to up to 60,000, right? So I've been waiting a bit. We've been trading all in here, and you guys have been following along. But I've been waiting for it to come back, so it was not so extended. The bulls just had so much power, so much control, that it never even got close. We get 15% pullbacks, and that's it, right? But right now, we're looking at a lot more fun. Meaning, from here, from here down to here, right now we're at 27% pullback. Now, typically, in a bull market, the Bitcoin price can handle up to 40% pullbacks. Anything over 40%, that typically means you're going into a bear market. So there's so many things lining up right now for just a beautiful, beautiful trade. If we take this down a little further and take it to the 40% mark, if we went down 40%, where would that put us? That would put us at $38,000 Bitcoin. I don't think we're going to get there. So we've got the support of the 21-week moving average in between now and then. And so we have this, so a 40% pullback would mean pushing past the 21-week moving average. And I can tell you just about everybody in crypto is looking at the 21-week moving average. So I think it's going to be a very strong line of support. I don't think we're going to break through it. Time will tell. But I think that's going to be a really, really good benchmark for us to say we're not going to go below that. Now, if it does crash below that, then we could be in some serious, serious trouble for the Bitcoin price. This could be an early end to the bull market. If that is the case, I'll make other videos. There's a whole bunch of scenarios I've thought about in that case. It could be a 2013 scenario where you have a mid-cycle crash before an absolutely epic end of the year. There's a few different scenarios I'll play out. I'll make videos about that if that happens. I don't think it's likely to happen, so we'll skip over that scenario for the moment, but it's definitely a scenario to consider. So we've got this one historical metric of dropping 40%. It is very, very common, but 30-40% drops in a bull market, very, very common. 30% is even more common. So let's just take a look at that actually. So we'll go here from this absolute peak, and we'll come down to 30%, which puts us at 45,000. Right, 30% puts us at 45,300. Okay, I'm gonna keep that level in my mind. 38,300. That's a good one to keep in mind. Let's keep that one up our sleeves. We've got the 21-week moving average. Let me kick back to this chart. The reason I'm kicking back to this chart is we've got these blue lines. These vertical blue lines represent the last Friday of every month. And what happens on the last Friday of every month is that the futures contracts for Bitcoin expire, and usually billions of dollars worth of contracts expire on this day, last Friday of every month. And you can see here that we usually crash down before the last Friday, then explode up, crash down, bottom out on the last Friday, rise up for the middle of the month, crash down for the last Friday, rise up in the middle of the month, crash down last Friday. This silly little blue line that marks the last Friday of the month is the one big thing holding me back from opening a large long Bitcoin position right now. We still have another 7 days until the end of the month. And so I think we're going to come down a little bit lower to this blue line. I hope a lot lower. I don't think we're going to be that lucky. I think that mark we looked at before, about 45,000, is going to be a good one. Let's look at this 21-week moving average right here. If we extrapolate that out, by the time we get to the blue line, we end up at 44,700. Okay? So our two numbers that we've looked at, 44,700, 45,300. And just check this out. On the weekly, what did we see right here? These candles here, this is a line of support on these weekly candles as well. And it's just, I also note, it's down at the 40 mark. What is this? This is the 41.6. So it's a little bit further away. But I do note that it's this peak here. So we find ourselves with possibly a point of resistance at this peak here. So very, very interesting stuff. We got a lot of things showing us some confluence around what's happening here at that $45,000 mark. So we still have another week until the blue line. And we still, we're showing there's some reasons why we're going to have some support around 45,000. So let's just keep going back to this cleaner chart here. This is the Bitcoin. And let's go down to, not that one, let's go down to, first of all, let's go to the daily. And see, this is going to give us a little bit more idea about where these lines of resistance exist. And you can see right here, the bottom of this trend right here, this bottom, what do we have? 45,100. That's by the body of the candle. If we took the wick, where would we get to? 43,000, right? So this region, this 43,000, 44,000, 45,000, there's a decent amount of trading here. In fact, let's just get the, no, not this one, this one. And you can see here, I mean, not as good as up here, not as good as down here, but these bars on the side, what they're showing us is the volume. They're showing us the volume at these levels. And we can see we had a good amount of volume right here down to 46,000. By the time you get to the 45, it kind of thins out a little bit, actually. But we have a little local peak here at this area, right? So that's giving us some arguments to suggest that maybe we're going to find some support around 47,000, 48,000, around this area. Okay, so that band, again, is just proving to be an interesting one for the Bitcoin price. I'll kick back further to the hourly. Let's take a quick look at that one. Yes. So let's look at these interesting marks again. See, on the hourly, we see we've got around this 45,000 mark. We've got resistance, support, resistance. This area in here is just showing us that I think that's going to be the place to go. If we don't get, let's pump it up to the 4 hour. If we don't get that kind of support here at that 45 mark, 44, around that area, we might have to head all the way back down to 41s. But the problem with that is that 41 would push us below the 21-week moving average, which I don't think is likely, because literally every man and their dog are going to be looking at the 21-week moving average. There'll be a lot of money coming on that. So, I mean, I've been talking about this for a week now. I think we have an absolutely epic setup for Bitcoin here, and I am going to be taking a very, very large position around this. So now let's come up with a plan. So we do have to talk about the concept here. Do we want to, do we want to get right in there? Does it, it went on the other side of this trade, I think Bitcoin punches up to $100,000, which, by the way, I wanted to show you that too. There's several different indicators all pointing to $100,000. $100,000 is the most obvious one. Big round number, makes a hell of a lot of sense that people would sort of cash out and take profits. And then $10,000 was a huge level of resistance and support. We lingered around $10,000 for months, several times. And so there'll just be a whole bunch of people who are at that 10x stage and are like, I'm going to take some profits. I mean, either sell half, or maybe I'll sell 10%, get all my money back. Now I got a free ride with, and I have no more skin in the game, but I just get to keep and hodl Bitcoin. So there'll be a whole bunch of profit taking at 100K. And there's several different indicators suggesting that 100K is the next kind of significant level for us. I also want to mention something else. We talked about us being absolutely nowhere near the 21-week moving average for months and months and months, right here. And we skyrocketed up very quick, and we didn't crash down. We stayed up here and loitered in the 50s to 60s for, what are these, weeklies? So, 6, 7, 8 weeks. What that meant was when the price is way above the moving average, it means the moving average runs up really, really fast. What that tells me is that in this bull run, the 21-week moving average is skyrocketing up really, really fast, which gives us arguments to suggest that this bull run, this 2021 bull run, is going to be legendary. If we come back down, hold the 21-week as support, bounce off it, and skyrocket, then we can expect to see, I think, even bigger gains than 2017. Because 2017 didn't do that. There was a whole bunch of issues with Bitcoin in 2017. There were governance issues, there was forking issues, there was, I think, the 2017, people use that regression model. You would have seen it all over YouTube. Everyone talks about that regression model. I think that the 2017 bull run was muted because of the governance model, because of the governance issues and the hard forking. And so when people fit their regression lines to that, there's only like 2 or 3 data points. There's your 2013 bull run and your 2017 bull run. Well, if the 2017 bull run was muted, then what that means is the regression bands are wrong. And they actually should be much, much higher than that. The regression band should be fit to those 2 peaks and much, much higher. So that's a very, very interesting thought to have. We've got some arguments and evidence already that this 21-week moving average moved very, very steep, skyrockets, and it didn't even come crashing back down and sort of come back down to 40s and sort of give that moving average a time to break. It just skyrocketed up, loitered at $60,000, $50,000. Now it's waited for the 21-week moving average to race up towards it. Now it's going to come back to a little bit, kiss it, and then hopefully we see another very, very steep peak. And we can go, I'm just very, very excited about this bull run. This could be legendary. So right now, we are 7 days away from the last Friday of the month. So what I'm going to be doing right now, as soon as I get off this recording, I'm going to be wiring a whole bunch of money to my exchange. I use Kraken, link below if you want to join. And I'm going to be putting in a limit order. I'm going to be setting up to buy Bitcoin. If it wicks down to 45,000, maybe probably 45,000, I'm going to be going big. Because here's what I'm doing. I'm also going to be doing it with the max leverage that you can do on Kraken, which is 5x. So here's what I'm most concerned about. I am more than willing to lose my entire bet. This is a legendary bet, and I am, of course, I have my huge HODL account. I'm playing with money that I can afford to lose. So, mind your P's and Q's over there. Don't go in and bet next month's rent money. I'm doing it with money that I can afford to lose. But I'm going to be doing a rather large 5x leveraged bet going long on Bitcoin if we can get it back down to this like $45,000 mark. And so here's how I'm thinking about that. With a 5x leverage bet, if the price of Bitcoin goes down 20%, I get cut out. I get liquidated and I lose the entire amount invested, right? So if I get in at, let's say, $45,000, 20% off that puts us at $36,000. So if the price went to $36,000, I would lose the entire bet. It's money I can afford to lose, but it is a very significant bet. And the upside, if we can run up to 100, it's going to be legendary. So if I was to do it now at this price of 49,800, I've got a problem. Now the liquidation price on my 5x leverage bet is now 40,000. And for the reasons that I just shared with you, $40,000, there's definitely some arguments. It's the peak here. We could definitely come down and wick below 40. The 21-week moving average is it's going to be by the end of next week, it's going to be at 44,000. Could it wick down? Because let's run back. We got the weekly chart here. Let's run back to 2017 and let's look. There was at least one occasion. Where can we find it? Maybe it was a little bit earlier, where we wicked through, not by a great deal, but we wicked through the 21-week moving average. And when was that? That was, funnily enough, March. I get that we're in April, but it's somewhat significant. There was another big wick through here, but that was in July of 2016. A little less relevant. In the bull year, the 2017 bull year, there was one wick through there. So, all right. So that's why it just the fact that I could get liquidated at 40,000 just makes me a little uncomfortable to do this massive leveraged bet. And so I really would want to see, and I think because of that futures date contract, that last Friday of the month concept, I think we've got, I think I got a pretty, a reasonable chance here, a really strong chance, I would even say better than average, that we will come down a little bit more before the last Friday. That has been the consistent theme. The last Friday, it's a little bit less obvious on the weekly. Let me just show you this on the daily, in case you haven't seen it. Oh, but it's got to be on here because I haven't got the last Friday of the months. So on the last Friday of the month, the absolute bottom happened on the last Friday of the month. The absolute bottom happened 2 days after. The absolute bottom happened 2 days before the last Friday of the month. So we've got 7 days to the last Friday of the month. Good arguments to suggest we've got more to come down. And so I think I'm a good chance of being able to capture that, A. B, it makes me a lot more comfortable because my liquidation point on my leverage goes down significantly. If I can capture 45,000 instead of 50, then what that means is my liquidation point becomes 5,500 instead of 40,000. So, which gives me a lot more room to move. It's the gap between the 21-week moving average and my liquidation point doubles. It more than doubles. The gap between the 21-week moving average and my liquidation point actually probably triples. So it would just give me a lot more comfort to do this legendary large bet. So yeah, stay tuned on this channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the channel below. Are you saying $50,000? Look, this is a fantastic Bitcoin price. I'm going to go ahead and grab it now. Or are you waiting a little bit longer like myself? This is a huge paradox, right? Throughout this bull run, I've been waiting and I've been frustrated for like 3 months. I haven't had this opportunity because the bulls will not let the price of Bitcoin go anywhere near the 21-week moving average. All right, that's what they've been doing. So this whole period, I've been looking to, let's take a really big, fun leverage bet. I really want to. It's the beginning of the bull year. Let's do it. And I've been so far from the 21-week moving average, I just have not been able to do it. And so the bulls have not let us anywhere near it. And as a result, I've missed out with the trading money, not with the hodl money, but with the trading money, I've missed out on some of these big gains, and it's been really, really frustrating. So I really do not want to miss it. I'm tempted to just grab it now because I think it's going to turn out great if I grab it now. But I'm concerned I'm being a little bit greedy, waiting for another 7 days, hoping it gets down to 45,000. So I really don't want to miss it. There's a good argument to say just grab it now. There's also a solid argument to say give it a few more days and see if you can scalp in a little bit lower. So let me know in the comments below. What do you think is going to happen? Is there anything to this thesis, or am I talking smack? Are you on board? Are you going to be doing a similar trade? Do you think Bitcoin's going to break through the 21-week moving average? Maybe it's going to look a little more like 2013. We didn't even, on that chart, I have to go to BLX for that. Let's go back to 2013 and the famous double. Doesn't even look like it anymore. Where's 2013? Oh, there you go. There's 2013. So there's this famous in the 2013 bull run. There was this famous 80% crash from 268 all the way down to 80. And in this year, from January to December, the price went up 100x. 100x. But in the middle of the year, starting in April, we saw it peak out here, and then we didn't get a bottom until July, and the price went down 80%. And it most certainly did go below, and it was below for weeks and weeks, candles closing below the 21-week moving average. So that's absolutely a possibility that may play out, something to consider and some risk factors to be aware of. Earlier in the year, we said, look at this has been so aggressive and so fast that we saw when this bull run, that a lot of people were calling out. Maybe there's going to be like a 2013 situation, and we'll get a big crash in the middle of this year before the final explosive move up. Still in play. However, let's check it out a little bit. I mean, it really was a blow off top. I mean, it went really vertical and then crashed down. I mean, just in this wick, let's just see what this is. Just in this wick, this is just in the wick, we're in a 40% crash. Just in that weekly candle, we're in an 80% crash that week. That's crazy. In 1 week, the price of Bitcoin went down 80%. There's a lesson to you, just in case you think you've got this figured out. My God, Bitcoin can slap you about whenever. But if you think about how steep that was a big blow off top. It doesn't look like that to me this year. This last 2 months, we've been loitering at 60,000 here, 50, 60,000 for 2 months. That is not a blow off top, not even close. So this looks and feels very different, and I don't think we're going to experience what we experienced in 2013. And so, yeah, look, well, oh yeah, that's, I was going to say we're up to 51,000, but we're not. That was just the BLX. So, all right, guys, thanks so much for this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel for 2 reasons. I want to keep you abreast of this trade. I'll let you know if I get in, if I get filled. I'll let you know if I change my entry point. If I feel like I'm not going to get filled, well, I'll keep you up to date. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget the most legendary, incredible thing that's going to completely change the cryptocurrency space, and I think sending Bitcoin to 80% dominance again in the relatively near future, within a few years. It could leave all the altcoins for dust, and it will completely change your trading strategy and your hodl strategy. And I'm going to be speaking with the experts involved with that project. Fingers crossed if I can secure those interviews, hopefully in the next week. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. Okay, guys, take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.